Welcome, welcome.
What's going? Excuse me. Wow. Excuse me. What's going on, everyone? You know what I just realized on live streams? I always wondered in the last few weeks why there is like a little signal next to some things that you guys type. And I just realized it's the translation. You guys are speaking different languages, and the chat just translates it for me. Interesting. Welcome to, I guess, the official last Lord of the Rings live read. Well, first, this is it. This is the last official live read of Lord of the Rings that I am reading for the first time. So there's going to be lots more live reads. One of these days, I'm going to do a non-stop read of Lord of the Rings. We're just going to sit here and read it until we stop. Until we're done. Yes, The Hobbit is next. The Hobbit is next, and then after The Hobbit, The Silmarillion. Very excited for all of it. Yeah, we've had one read, yes. What about the second read? Yeah, it's good for accessibility. I like that. I don't mind it. It's a little strange, but it's annoying that I wish they kept the original languages and then let me hover over it for the translation rather than the other way around. You know what I mean? But yeah. So The Hobbit's gonna come next, but this is gonna be the last stream, specifically for a reading stream. Yeah, I finished Lord of the Rings. That's true. Last official reading stream for another 2 weeks, because the next one will start The Hobbit, and that'll be in 2 weeks, because I'm gonna be traveling the end of next week into all the week after that, so I'll be gone, and then yeah, honestly, this is probably my fifth read because I keep rereading things over and over again. It's kind of true. Yeah, the last official reading stream for another 2 weeks. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you. Like the stream, everyone. I'm not adventuring the crazy places. I'm going to North Carolina for a little bit, and then over to Tennessee, and then back. I'm going to see my sister, hang out for a bit. It's going to be great. So just a little bit of adventure. Also, you guys were asking what the text I'm going to be reading. Michael, I don't know if you're here, but I'm reading the one that you sent me months ago in September of 2025. That was when we were still young and fresh and, and green. I'm reading that one. I don't know. It doesn't say which version it is. It just is The Lord of the Rings, the Epilogue by J.R.R. Tolkien. I was looking for the actual physical copy of this. I went to 2 bookstores yesterday, and one of them didn't have barely any Tolkien stuff. And I went to the front desk and I said, "Do you guys have Sauron Defeated?" And she goes, "How do you spell it?" And I go, "Sauron? You don't know how to spell Sauron? That's like not knowing how to spell Lord Voldemort. Who are you, Hagrid?" And they didn't have it. And then I went to a Barnes & Noble, and they had a ton of Tolkien stuff. They had just 3 shelves of Tolkien stuff. And they didn't even carry this one. They didn't even carry Sauron Defeated. She goes, "Sauron Undefeated?" I said, "No, he is not undefeated. Sauron Defeated." And they didn't even carry it. They said they can order it for me, but they don't carry it. And I said, that sucks. Bummer. So I'm reading it on an iPad that this is the iPad. Yeah, I know I just got to check my library for sure. But I was kind of away a little bit yesterday, and by the time I got back, I didn't have that much time to go to my library. Yeah, Sauron was not undefeated. He was defeated multiple times. So I actually looked that up, and I was looking up the different things. It is under the History of Middle-earth, Volume 9, but they didn't have the entirety of the volume. For Barnes & Noble, they said, "We can order you an entire collection of the History of Middle-earth, but we do not sell that individually." I said, "How much is that going to cost?" in my head. I didn't say that out loud because I just didn't. I feel like it would have been like crazy expensive. So I'm just reading it on an iPad today, which is fun. We're at 19% on my iPad, so hopefully it lasts. We'll see. I'm going to turn it off just to save a little bit of battery before we jump in. But I'm a little sleepy today. So hopefully I won't be yawning like crazy during the stream. Hopefully the text will be riveting enough that I'll be glued and will not yawn once. But yeah, so the plan is to read The Hobbits. We're gonna start The Hobbit. How many Hobbits are there? How many chapters of The Hobbit are there? I gotta plan that out. I'm gonna start to read the end of the end of April, which I'm really excited about. There is a very small chance, let's say a 5% chance that I might read it next Sunday. Might start chapter 1 next Sunday, but it is an infinitesimally small chance. I'm saying like a less than a 5% chance. So we'll see. We'll see. It'd be kind of fun to do it, but I don't know if I will. Again, traveling, so it's gonna be tough. But I don't know what to expect for this. I don't know what to expect for this chapter, for this epilogue. I don't know what's gonna go on. Yeah, the long expected party to an unexpected party. That's right. That's the first chapter of it. No, I don't want to do two chapters at once. I'm actually going to pull my book down and then check it out. Are the chapters going to be shorter? It is a much shorter book. This is a much shorter book than I was hoping. I want much longer. Unexpected party. It's a lot of pages again on Unexpected Party. It goes till page 28. These are long chapters. I don't think I could do 2 chapters at once. The first chapter is a crazy long chapter. Michael, in Mexico visiting family. Internet is spotty, but glad this is happening. Thank you, Michael. There's two versions, by the way. I'm reading the second one, or I'm reading the one that you sent me on Discord a few months ago. I don't know if that's the correct version or the one that you guys say that I should read. Some of these are long chapters. Goes to 19 chapters. Well, yeah, definitely just probably one chapter per week. I think I am going to probably do like a weekly read of that too. This just depends on how many videos I can make per week. We'll just kind of gauge it and see. If I get my hands on the history of Middle-earth, Tolkien's notes on the abandoned Lord of the Rings sequel might be a nice short live stream. On the abandoned Lord of the Rings sequel, that'd be actually great. I would love that. Hey, Lemmy, what's up? It's a rare thing catching a stream before we actually do the read. Nicely done. The Hobbit book is the same length as Lord of the Rings to the Barrow Downs chapter? No way. So it's short. That's depressing. That's actually really depressing. That's crazy. That's so depressing. I want it to be so much longer. Are the fonts smaller? Why is this book so different? Oh, this font is smaller. Oh, that's a bummer. It's like 1.5 letter line spacing too. So this book is gonna take us quick. But I'm still very excited for it. I am still beyond excited for it. I can't wait for it. And another thing about this one too is I really don't have the movies in my mind that much because I think I saw the movies maybe 3 times. and I don't have them in my mind so much. I know obviously certain things that happen in the movies, and I know certain things that do happen in the books because I was a Lord of the Rings fan. But I don't know a bunch. Like, I know about Thranduil. I don't know if Thranduil is actually going to show up in the book. I don't know what he's going to be called, if it actually is going to be Thranduil. I know that they go into Mirkwood. I know like the path that they take. I know Bilbo and Smaug and like a conversation. I'm guessing there's the battle at the end. I don't really know what that's going to look like. A monster of the week kind of narrative. So very children's-esque. It's going to be great. I'm excited. Lord of the Rings took you 3 weeks. The Hobbit, probably what, like a day? A day or two? The narrator occasionally speaks to the audience. Interesting. That's kind of fun. Wow, 3 pages for a battle. I love that. I actually love that. Don't give me a lot of battle scenes. Pal, you might hate that. I'm saying don't give me a lot of battle scenes because you're like a battle historian, right? Which is another thing. I don't know if you guys anybody. What are you guys currently reading? Let's talk about that. Besides, like, we're all reading Lord of the Rings together. What are you currently reading? Because I am currently listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl, the series, and my biggest complaint about the whole series is that it's just like battle after battle, and it gets a little laborious, and I'm just kind of sick of combats, and I just want more meat, you know? You have just read the first 2 Narnia books, by the way. A little too childish for me. Hobbit is much better. Interesting. Now I love getting into a little bit of a childishness. Like, I think I'm gonna like the Narnia books. Maybe obviously not as much as Lord of the Rings, but I think I will like them. You're reading a book one of your friends published in the book club? No way. Which book? What's it called? And which friend published it? That's awesome. You had to read Romeo and Juliet for school, as did all of us. 2 Towers reading By the Light of 1,000 Stars. Interesting. Playground by Richard Powers. Fell off of Red Rising, looking for a new series. When the Door sequel to A Winkle in Time, A Wrinkle in Time, Because the Beasts Came by Madeline James. Interesting. Okay. So there's no interspecific romance between a child of Eru and one of Ayula. Yeah, I figured that was the case, but we shan't talk about that. Yeah, imagine if you read that Legolas was running up the Rebel. I still remember that scene in the movie. That was awful. Oh, To Kill a Mockingbird is great. Yeah, I think Tolkien's really good at describing battles. He describes like the tactics of the battle sometimes more than just like, and they were bludgeoning each other, yada yada yada. Kind of boring to me. War of the Roses, interesting. I've heard that's great. Reading The Witcher. Listening to historical fiction about Rome's conquest of Britannia. Interesting. The Name of Rose, Umberto Eco. Ooh, I haven't read much of Eco, but I tried to read one of his books a long time ago and didn't get into it. The Night Circus. Ooh, Baldur's Gate 3. Fun. Yeah, Nemo, I'm kind of with you. Tolkien's battle scenes just seem like appropriate. Like, they're not that long. Even like massive battle scenes that they have, they're just perfect. Yeah, definitely going to do the Clown of Monte Cristo on the second channel. I want to actually do it quicker, which I'm not going to be able to do it quicker because it's a long book. But I want to do it because I know the BBC series is out, or it's coming out. I really feel like it'd be fun to read that. So I'm actually kind of debating right now. If you guys aren't subscribed to the Classics channel, go subscribe to the Classics channel. But we're currently reading A Tale of Two Cities in the Classics. I am slightly tempted There's 2 books in my mind that we're gonna do for the next one because I've read The Count of Monte Cristo a long time ago when I was in high school, or like when I was my freshman in college. I don't remember most of it, and I'm debating between reading that or reading the Iliad or the Odyssey. I don't know which one to start. Thanks, Nemo. Because when does the movie come out? What is it? What's coming out? The Odyssey or the Iliad? The Odyssey. But I have to start with the Iliad, don't I? I have to start with the Iliad. So that comes out in July. So if I start reading The Count of Monte Cristo, I could do maybe The Count of Monte Cristo in May and June, and then start the Iliad in July, and then do the Odyssey in like August or something. I don't know. We're trying to figure that out. Because the Odyssey comes out in July. It'd be fun to read that right before I go see the movie, which I definitely will read it before I see the movie. But I don't know. I don't know if that's enough time to do The Count of Monte Cristo. I would really have to crank that one out. I'm not the biggest fan of Hemingway. I actually like his writing style a little bit, but sometimes I don't because it's too economic. Like one thing that I actually really love about Dickens, because I'm reading Dickens, is his wordiness, because you get really fun things in there. Like I just made a video about this. Everyone, I'm gonna regale you with some classics right now before we read. We'll start the read in 5 minutes. There's a really great sentence or section that Dickens wrote that I really loved, that I thought, like, we need more people who are risk takers and write like this, because it was just like a funny section between two characters that I really don't see people writing like this anymore. I gotta find this. Like, there are a few writers who still write like this, but it is few and far between. So this is the conversation that 2 people are having. It's great. It's hilarious. It says, as we happen to be alone for the moment, and are both people of business, he said, when they had got back to the drawing room and had sat down there in friendly relations, let me ask you, does the doctor, in talking with Lucy, never refer to the shoemaking time yet? Never. And yet keeps that bench and tools beside him? Ah, returned Miss Pross, shaking her head. But I don't say he don't refer to it within himself. Then he says, do you believe he thinks much of it? I do, said Miss Pross. Do you imagine, Mr. Lorry had begun, when Miss Pross took him up short with, never imagine anything, no imagination at all. And then he goes, I stand corrected. Do you suppose? You go so far to as suppose sometimes. Now and then, said Miss Pross. Do you suppose, Mr. Lorry went on, with a laughing twinkle in his bright eye, as it looked kindly at her. Like, that's something that I don't think people would write today, and I think that's hilarious, and I love that so much. It's just, there's some excellent stuff that he does that, honestly, because he was paid by the word, makes it fun, makes it more fun. And I really am enjoying A Tale of Two Cities. But I'm going to read, so in the Classics channel, I'm reading A Tale of Two Cities. And then right after we do that, I don't know what we're going to do next. And maybe I'll just go right to the Iliad, and then we'll do the Count of Monte Cristo maybe later in the year. But I really want to do the Count of Monte Cristo because there's that BBC series that's out that apparently is very good. I can't do Finnegan's Wake next. I've heard tale of that. And I don't think I could do that yet. The Three Musketeers, I've heard it's great too. Yeah, we're gonna do the space trilogy on this channel probably eventually. After I do all my Tolkien stuff, I'm gonna keep doing Tolkien, but we'll probably filter in some Le Guin and some Lewis too, and maybe 1 or 2 other people who might fit on this. Like, is Lonesome Dove something that would probably fit on this channel, or should that be on another channel? How do you guys like Lonesome Dove? Iliad, the Odyssey, then the Space Odyssey. Is the Space Odyssey actually based on the actual Odyssey? That'd be funny. You're not a fan of Russians? I actually don't mind Russian literature so much. It's a bit heady. But Anna Karenina, I read like 2 classics before I started this classics channel. It was Anna Karenina and the Count of Monte Cristo. And Anna Karenina was one of my favorites of all time. Anna Karenina was just, I remember I read that like my senior year of college, and I just was underlining everything. I just loved it. But I don't remember a lot of it now, so I'm going to reread it again pretty soon, maybe next year. Man. Alrighty. Everyone like the stream because we're going to start. You're reading Brother Karamazov and ran into a paragraph that was 2.5 pages long. Lonesome Dove doesn't fit with Tolkien. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I knew C.S. Lewis did a lot of lit crit too. It'd be kind of fun to read some of his stuff and see what he says. I know him, and I've read a lot of Flannery O'Connor's lit crit, and I mean, she didn't write that much of it, but she did have a book about it a little bit. And Flannery O'Connor is one of my favorites for just good lit crit. She's just exceptional. Maybe I'll do a few short stories of Flannery O'Connor in the middle of that. I love her. She's just so disturbing. She's so great. What a weird, funky author. A few of her short stories would be great. Also, this story that we're about to read, does that have anything to do with what they're planning to do for the actual movie sequel with Stephen Colbert? And how many of you guys have read it? Yeah, it's time. It is time. You know what? Every time we start the read, I should do that part in Lion King where Rafiki goes, "It is time." I gotta find that. And then he walks up on the Pride Rock. Not keen on Le Guin. Good word. Good rhyming usage. The king has returned. Oh, what a good movie. I want to watch that now. All right, we are going to start reading. This is, I don't know if, okay, how many of you have read it and how many of you have not read it? I'm going to paste a copy if you want to follow along with the actual copy that I'm reading. So give me a sec. Give me a sec. If you want to read, I don't know if this link should work. All right, hopefully this link works. Nope, that did not work. Remove. Let me just see if I can copy this. Copy link. I think that'll work. Hopefully that'll work. Maybe if you guys have Discord, it'll work. Maybe we'll see. I know. Well, it just downloaded, so I was trying to send a downloaded file, but the download opened in Chrome or in whatever this browser is. I don't even know if it's Chrome right now. Maybe that'll work. That attachment. I don't know if that attachment's going to work. This is a little unorganized. But that's the version I'm going to read. Does that work if you guys open it? Kieran's line, all is ready? What do you mean all is ready? Oh, download worked? Excellent. Yeah, find it on Google or something like that. Yeah, I got to go to some used bookstores and get that 17-page PDF. That's exactly. This is the 17-page PDF. But it's really like 13, maybe even less, because I think this is going to be a quick read. I think this is going to take like half an hour or so. So if you're going to follow along, that's the copy that I'm reading from. So let's begin. This is the epilogue of Lord of the Rings, J.R.R. Tolkien's unpublished epilogue that they published after he died, which I have controversial, or if I have conflicted feelings on that. Here we go. I love that you guys have never read this. This is exciting. We're taking this journey together. This is really fun. One evening in the March of 1436. What was it? 1420 was the good year. Okay, so this is 16 years after the good year. One evening in the March of 1436, Master Samwise Gamgee was in his study at Bag End. He was sitting at the old, well-worn desk. Hold on one second. And with many pauses for thought, he was writing in his slow round hand on sheets of loose paper. Propped up on a stand at his side was a large red book in manuscript. Oh, the red book. Interesting. Not long before he had been reading aloud from it to his family. Or not long before. Okay, so the punctuations. I'm going to struggle with this. He had been reading aloud from it to his family. For the day was a special one, the birthday of his daughter, Eleanor. Ah, it's Eleanor's birthday! That evening before supper, he had come at last to the very end of the book. Oh man, the long progress through its many chapters, even with omissions that he had thought advisable, had taken some months, for he had only read aloud on great days. At the birthday reading, besides Eleanor, Frodo lad had been present, and Rosie lass, and young Merry and Pippin. Oh man, this is great. All their little kids gathered together. The Red Book was not for them yet, and they were safely in bed. Goldilocks was only 5 years old, for in this Frodo's foretelling had made a slight error. And she came after Pippin. Frodo's foretelling? Yeah, Sam's live streaming his read. What does that mean? Frodo's foretelling had made a slight error and she came after Pippin. Did Frodo ever... Oh, Frodo in the book? Oh. Wait. Goldilocks the place before Pippin? So Frodo did that. What are my questions? No, Frodo couldn't have done that. How did Frodo do that if he left before this all happened? So Frodo foretold that? That's crazy to me. I did not even think of that. When he told him the names of the kids. But didn't he say, didn't he just say like, hey, when he was saying goodbye to Sam? Interesting, okay. I did not think that was like necessarily foresight. It's interesting to piece this all together in your mind now, knowing when Frodo left, what he wrote about, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I thought he just suggested the flower names. He goes, name all your daughters after flowers in Hobbit fashion. And name your boys after whatever you want. Okay, interesting. How many kids were alive when Frodo left? 2? I think it was 2. I mean, that's like movie knowledge in my head, but I don't know if that's actually legit too. All right, let's keep reading. But she was not the last of the line, for Samwise and Rose seemed likely to rival old Gerontis Took in the number of their children as successfully as Bilbo had in the number of his years. Bilbo had in the number of his years. There was Little Ham and Daisy, and there was Primrose still in her cradle. So they're at Primrose, which is one of their last. Was Primrose like the 10th? Primrose was, a 9th. They had little Bilbo, Ruby, Robin, and Tolman, also known as Tom. Now, Samwise was having a bit of quiet. Supper was over. Only Eleanor was with him, still up because it was her birthday. She sat without a sound, staring at the fire, and now and again glancing at her father. She was a beautiful girl, more fair of skin than most Hobbit maidens, and more slender, and the firelight glinted in her red gold hair. To her, by gift, if not by inheritance, a memory of elven grace had descended. "What are you doing, Sam Dad, dear?" "Aw," she said at last. "That's so cute to hear, Sam Dad. You said you were going to rest, and I hoped you would talk to me." "Just a moment, Eleanorelle," said Sam, as she came over and set his arms about him. and peered over his shoulders. It looks like questions and answers, she said. And so it is, said Sam. Mr. Frodo, he left the last pages of the book to me, but I have never yet durst to put hand to them. I am still making notes, as old Mr. Bilbo would have said. Here's all the questions Mother Rose and you and the children have asked. And I am writing the answers, when I know them. Most of the questions are yours, because only you has heard all the book more than once. 3 times, said Eleanor, looking at the carefully written page that lay under Sam's hand. Q. Dwarves and C. Dwarves and Co. Frodo says he likes them best. What happened to Gimli? Have the mines of Moria been opened again? Are there any orcs left? Oh. A. Answer. Gimli. He came back to work for the king, as he said, and he brought many of his folk from the north, and they worked in Gondor so long as they got used to it. And they settled up there in the White Mountains, not far from the city. Gimli goes once a year to the Glittering Caves. Oh, interesting. How do I know? Information from Mr. Peregrine, who often goes back to Minas Tirith, where he's highly thought of. Moria. I have heard no news. Maybe the foretelling about Durin is not for our time. Dark places still need a lot of clearing up. I guess it will take a lot of trouble and daring deeds, yet to root out the evil creatures from the halls of Moria. For there are certainly plenty of orcs left in such places. It is not likely that we shall ever quite get rid of them. Interesting. Weird. It's really funky. That I mean, that's like a very different movie and book thing, I think. The Earth doesn't come and swallow up all the orcs at the end. Q. Question. Legolas, did he go back to the king? Will he stay there? Answer. Yes, he did. He came south with Gimli, and he brought many of his people from the Greenwood, or from Greenwood the Great, so they call it now. They say it was a wonderful sight to see companies of dwarves and elves journeying together. The elves have made the city, and the land where Prince Faramir lives, more beautiful than ever. Yes, Legolas will stay there, at any rate as long as Gimli does, but I think he will go to the sea one day. Mr. Meriadoc told me all this, for he has visited the Lady Eowyn in her White House. Cool. In her White House. She lives in a White House now. Where's their White House in Ithilien? Yeah, evil's really resilient. It is a good, honestly. Question, horses. Merry is interested in these, very anxious for a pony of his own. How many horses do the riders lose in battle? And have they got some more now? It's cute because these are all questions Sam's kids are asking to him as they're hearing this story. And he just wants to find the answers for them. That's great. What happened to Legolas's horse? What did Gandalf do with Shadowfax? I want to know this. Shadowfax went in the white ship with Gandalf, of course. I did not know that. I saw that myself. I also saw Legolas let his horse run free back to Rohan from Isengard. Mr. Meriadoc says he does not know how many horses were lost, but there are more than ever in Rohan now because no one steals them any longer. The riders also have many ponies, especially in Harrowdale, white, brown, and gray. Next year, when he comes back from a visit to King Eomer, he means to bring one for his namesake. Question, Ents. Eleanor would like to hear more about them. What did Legolas see in Fangorn? And does he ever see Treebeard now? Rosie Lass, very anxious about Entwives. She looks for them whenever she goes in a wood. Will they ever be found? She would like them to be. Cute. Legolas and Gimli have not told her what they saw, so far as I have heard. I have not heard of anyone that has seen an Ent since those days. Ents are very secret, and they do not like people much, big or little. I should like the Entwives to be found too, but I'm afraid that trouble is too old and deep for Shire folk to mend. I think maybe Entwives do not want to be found, and maybe Ents are now tired of looking. Interesting. Where are the Entwives? Well, dear, said Sam, this top page, this is only today's batch. He sighed. It isn't fit to go in the book like that. It isn't a bit like the story as Mr. Frodo wrote it, but I shall have to make a chapter or two in proper style somehow. Mr. Meriadoc might help me. He's very clever at writing, and he's making a splendid book all about plants. Interesting. I didn't know he was a plant lover. That's kind of funky. Good for him. Don't write any more tonight. Talk to me, Sam, Dad, said Eleanor, and drew him to a seat by the fire. Tell me, she said, as they sat close together with a soft golden light on their faces. Tell me about Lorien. Does my flower grow there still, Sam, Dad? Well, dear, Celeborn still lives there. Among his trees and his elves. And there I doubt your flower still grows. And there I don't doubt your flower still grows. Though now I have got you to look at. I don't now I have got you to look at. I don't hanker after it so much. But I don't want to look at myself, Sam, Dad. I want to look at other things. I want to see the hill of Amroth, where the king met Arwen, and the silver trees and the little white Nifredil, and the golden Eleanor in the grass that is always green. And I want to hear elves singing. Then maybe you will one day, Eleanor. I said the same when I was your age, and long after it. And there didn't seem to be no hope. And yet I saw them, and I heard them. I was afraid they were sailing away, Sam, Dad. Then soon there would be none here. And then everywhere would just be places. And what, Eleanorella? And Eleanorella? And the light would have faded. I know, said Sam. The light is fading, Eleanorelle, but it won't go out yet. It won't ever go quite out. I think now, since I have had you to talk to, or it won't ever go quite out, I think now, since I have had you to talk to. For it seems to me now that people can remember it who have never seen it. And yet, he sighed, even that is not the same as really seeing it like I did. Like really being in a story, said Eleanor. A story is quite different, even when it is about what happened. I wish I could go back to the old days. Folk of our sort often wish that, said Sam. You came at the end of a great age, Eleanorelle. But though it is over, as we say, things don't really end sharp like that. It's more like a winter sunset. The high elves have nearly all gone now with Elrond, but not quite all. And those that didn't go will wait now for a while. And the others, the ones that belong here, will last even longer. There are still things for you to see, and maybe you'll see them sooner than you hope. There's a little bit of sweetness to this story. I like this. It feels a little less polished than some of his other writing, but I like it. Eleanor was silent for some time before she spoke again. I did not understand at first what Celeborn meant when he said goodbye to the king, she said. But I think I do now. He knew that Lady Arwen would stay, but that Galadriel would leave him. I think it was very sad for him. And for you, dear Samdad. Her hand felt for his, and his brown hand clasped her slender fingers. For your treasure went too. Oh, I am glad Frodo of the Ring saw me, but I wish I could remember seeing him. It was sad, Eleanorelle, said Sam, kissing her hair. It was, but it isn't now. For why? Well, for one thing, Mr. Frodo has gone where the elven light isn't fading, and he deserved his reward, but I have mine too. I have had lots of treasures. I am a very rich hobbit. And there is one other reason which I shall whisper to you. A secret I never told before to no one, nor put in the book yet. Before he went, Mr. Frodo said that my time maybe would come. I can wait. I think maybe we haven't said farewell for good. But I can wait. I've learned that much from the elves at any rate. They are not so troubled about time. And so I think Celeborn is still happy among his trees in an elvish way. His time hasn't come. And he isn't tired of his land yet. When he is tired, he can go. This is actually great because this is like some of the last videos that I've been making. I think a lot of it has been like, Tolkien's emphasis on when your time comes, and you can't really extend that time. And this seems like it's tying in that theme very well. Like when your time has come, your time has come. And when you're tired, you will go, Sam Dad. You will go to the havens with the elves. Then I shall go with you. I shall not part with you like Arwen did with Elrond. Oh my gosh. Maybe, said Sam, kissing her gently, and maybe not. The choice of Luthien and Arwen comes to many, Eleanorel. Nor something like it. Or something like it. And it isn't wise to choose before the time. Oh, man. This still has like that little tinge of Tolkien wisdom to it that is excellent. I really like this. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded him to polish this up and actually be able to publish this in the epilogue. I kind of feel like this fits. It's a sweet epilogue. It shouldn't be another chapter, but it definitely should be an epilogue. And now, my dearest, I think that it's time even a lass of 15 springtime should go to her bed. And I have words to say to Mother Rose. Eleanor stood up and passed her hand lightly through Sam's curling brown hair, already flecked with gray. Good night, Sam Dad. But I don't want good night, but Sam said. But won't you show it me first? I was going to say. Show you what, dear? The king's letter, of course. You have had it now more than a week. Sam sat up. Good gracious, he said. How stories do repeat themselves. And you get paid back in your own coin and all. How we spied on poor Mr. Frodo, and now our own spy on us. Meaning no more harm than we did, I hope. But how do you know about it? There was no need for spying, said Eleanor. If you wanted it kept secret, you were not nearly careful enough. It came by the South Farthing post early on Wednesday last week. I saw you take it in, all wrapped in white silk and sealed with great black seals. Anyone who heard the book would have guessed at once that it came from the king. Is it good news? Won't you show it to me, Sam Dad? Well, as you're so deep in, you'd better be right in, said Sam. But no conspiracies now. If I show you, you'll join the grown-ups' side. And must play fair. I'll tell the others in my own time. The king is coming. Oh, he's coming here, Eleanor cried. To Bag End? No, dear, said Sam. But he isn't. But he's coming north again. And he hasn't done since he was a mite. But now his house is ready. He won't come into the Shire because he's given orders that no big folk are to enter that land after the ruffians. But he won't break his own rules. But he will ride to the bridge. And he sent a very special invitation to every one of us, every one by name. Sam went to a drawer, unlocked it, and took out a scroll, and slipped off its case. It was written in 2 columns with fair silver letters upon black. He unrolled it, and set a candle beside it on the desk, so that Eleanor could see it. How splendid, she cried. I can read the plain language, but what does the other side say? I think it is Elvish, but you've taught me so few Elvish words yet. Yes, it is written in a kind of Elvish that the great folk of Gondor use, said Sam. Interesting, so they're speaking Elvish again. It's coming back. Conspiracy Unmasked, yes. What about what about a second Conspiracy Unmasked? I have made it out enough, at least, to be sure it says much the same. Only it turns all our names into Elvish. Yours is the same on both sides, Eleanor, because your name is Elvish. But Frodo is Iorhael. Would that be Frodo's actual Elvish name? And Rose is Merrill, and Merry is Galir. And Pippin's is Cordoff, and Goldilocks is Glorfiniel. Glorfiniel! That's beautiful. Hey, Paul, thanks for the 5 gifted. And congrats to the 5 gifted members. Welcome to membership. And Hamfast is Baravorn, and Daisy is Irene. So now you know. Glorfiniel, I love that. How wonderful, she said. Now we have all got Elvish names. What a splendid end to my birthday. But what is your name, Sam Dad? You didn't mention it. Well, it is rather peculiar, said Sam, for in the Elvish part, if you must know, the king says, Master Perhael, who should be called Panthale. And that means Samwise, who ought to be called Fullwise. That's so sweet. Dang, I love that. So now you know what the king thinks of your old father. Not a bit more than I do, Sam Dad. Perhael Adar, dearest, said Eleanor. But it says the 2nd of April, only a week today. When shall we start? We ought to be getting ready. What shall we wear? You must ask Mother Rose about all that, said Sam. But we have been getting ready. We had the warning of this long ago, and we've said naught else about it, only because we didn't want you to lose your sleep of nights. Not just yet. You have all got to look your best and beautifulest. You will all have beautiful clothes, and we shall drive in a coach. Shall I make 3 curtsies or only 1, said Eleanor. 1 will do. 1 each for the king and the queen, said Sam. For though it doesn't say so in the letter, Eleanor, I think the queen will be here. And when you've seen her, my dear, you'll know what a lady of the elves looks like, save that none are so beautiful. And there's more to it even than that. For I shall be surprised if the king doesn't bid us to his great house by Lake Evandem. And there will be Eladon and Elrohir who still live in Rivendell. And with them will be elves, Eleanor, and they will be singing by the water in the twilight. That is why I said you might see them sooner than you guessed. Eleanor said nothing, but stood looking at the fire, and her eyes shone like stars. At last she sighed and stirred. How long shall we stay? She asked. I suppose we shall have to come back. Yes, and we shall want to, in a way, said Sam. But we might stay until hay harvest, when I must be back here. Good night, Eleanor. Sleep now till the sun rises. You'll have no need of dreams. Good night, Sandad. And don't work anymore, for I know what your chapter should be. Write down our talk together. But not tonight. She kissed him, and passed out of the room. And it seemed to Sam that the fire burned low at her going. Oh, man. So sweet. The stars were shining in a clear, dark sky. It was the 2nd day of the bright, cloudless spell that came every year to the Shire. It was the 2nd day of the bright and cloudless spell that came every year to the Shire toward the end of March. Is nature remembering the destruction of the ring? Oh, interesting. Glorfindel means gold locks, but Glorfiniel is the... Okay, I love that. That's really cool. Is there like a spell of weather? Interesting. That's kind of cool. And was every year welcomed and praised as something surprising for the season. All the children were now in bed. It was late, but here and there lights were still glimmering in Hobbiton, and in houses dotted about the night-folded country. Master Samwise stood at the door and looked away eastward. He drew Mistress Rose to him and set his arm about her. "March the 25th," he said. "This day 17 years ago, Rose, wife. I didn't think I should ever see thee again, but I kept on hoping." "I never hoped at all, Sam," she said. "Not until that very day. And then suddenly I did. About noon it was. I felt so glad that I began singing. And Mother said, 'Quiet, lass, there's ruffians about.' And I said, 'Let them come. Their time will soon be over. Sam's coming back.' And you came." "I did," said Sam, "to the most belovedest place in all the world. To my Rose and my garden." They went in, and Sam shut the door. But even as he did so, he heard suddenly, deep and unstilled, the high and murmur of the sea upon the shores of Middle-earth. Oh, man, what a ending! The sea is calling him. Oh, even at that, that's actually a great ending. I actually love that. Dang. Man, that was a lovely story. I actually really love that. I love that more than I thought I would. Like, I knew that it was going to be interesting and kind of cool, but like, it's a bit more sentimental than I thought. I thought there was going to be a bit more like maybe plotting, but that is a lovely epilogue. I wish more versions just had that in the actual epilogue of it rather than just like the history of Middle-earth. It's just so sweet. And there's some fun little details behind it too. Like Tolkien's like wrapping up a few little loose ends there. Man, there's also a footnote here, or like a little end 2 pages that's short. Let me read this. First published by Christopher Tolkien in Volume 4 of the History of Middle-earth, Sauron Defeated, not undefeated, Sauron Defeated. The epilogue was not tacked on as an afterthought, but was part of Tolkien's original vision for the ending. Interesting. According to Christopher Tolkien, the words that end the Lord of the Rings, well on back, he said, were not intended to do so when my father wrote them in the long draft manuscript. Manuscript A, which has been followed in the previous chapters. It is obvious from the manuscripts that the text continued on without break, and there is in fact no indication that my father thought of what he was writing as markedly separate from what preceded. Interesting. So he really wanted this to be the ending, which I think would be great. It feels slightly less polished writing-wise than some of his other stuff. That's probably because he didn't polish it. I'm sure it was like he didn't get a chance to. But if he did, this would have been a perfect ending, I think. And it says, Diana Glyer, a distinguished professor at Azusa Pacific University, says in her book, Bandersnatch, C.S. Lewis, J.R.R. Tolkien, and the creative collaboration of the Inklings. This epilogue has charmed the readers who have discovered it tucked away in the pages of their history of Middle-earth. However, when Tolkien finished rewriting and revising The Lord of the Rings and submitted it to his publisher, it did not contain an epilogue. Tolkien explains that he left it out because those he shared it with didn't like it. He writes an epilogue giving a further glimpse, though of a rather exceptional family, has been so universally condemned that I shall not insert it. One must stop somewhere. There is no specific record of Tolkien. There is no specific record of who Tolkien is referring to here. His comment that the epilogue had been universally condemned may be a reference to several individual Inklings, or to the Inklings as a group, or to the larger circle that may have included his family and his publisher. Against his better judgment, Tolkien agreed to drop the entire chapter, but he regretted this decision afterward. When the final volume of Lord of the Rings was published, Tolkien protested, "I still feel the picture incomplete without something on Samwise and Eleanor. But I could not devise anything that would not have destroyed the ending." It may be argued that instead of destroying the ending, this missing chapter would have provided a sweet and satisfying close to the story. Tolkien thought so, but others disagreed. And so the epilogue, drafted and revised many times, has never been included in the published text. Dang, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I agree with the Inklings that I don't really like epilogues all that much, but if you're J.R.R. Tolkien, whatever you write, include. Like, it doesn't matter what the other Inklings thought. You had a brilliant idea for an epilogue. I mean, part of me agrees to some extent. The ending of the actual Return of the King, where he says, "Well, I'm back," it does fit a little bit with, like, there and back again. It has some good little last lines. But I do really love the last line of this too. That Sam, it's like a little bit like, ooh, is he going to write a sequel kind of thing? Like the sea is calling him. And that's true too. Maybe this is like the end of Aragorn's life. I'm just not ready for it to be over. I'm like Arwen. I just want a few more years with you. I just want a few more chapters. And all things must come to an end. So, I don't know. It'd be an interesting idea to debate this in like a video and talk about whether or not Tolkien should have added this in there. I do think that it would have broken up the narrative flow slightly, which is why generally I don't like epilogues and I don't like prologues all that much. I don't think people do prologues very well. I think that they should just skip to the first chapter. And for epilogues, I don't care that much for epilogues. I do kind of think that Harry Potter would have ended better had it not had an epilogue in it. But there is a point where, as a reader and a huge fan of a book like that, literally, it doesn't make sense to have epilogues. Like, if I'm an editor, purely for an editorial literary perspective, I think epilogues are kind of foolish. It's like, no, you've wrapped up your story. Why would you want to wrap it up again? But for a fan of something that, like, someone is building a world, you need an epilogue. I need 20 epilogues. And Tolkien did that with the Lord of the Rings. He gives us so many epilogues. But like, you want more. You just want to be in this world more, and you want to know more things that happen. So his editor needed to be more of like a, hey, I need to pay attention to the fandom and the story than not. Yeah, Treebeard doesn't want you using logs. Which is crazy. And that's kind of my complaint too, Duralumin, is that there's not enough endings, but there's so many endings, but there's not enough. You could just be in this world forever. This is such an interesting epilogue. I have so much that I want to talk about with this. Like, there's so many small things that are just great that Tolkien added that are just like even the idea of the sea calling to Sam. What was the one thing that we saw before? I'm trying to find that again. All the names of the kids. Yeah, initial publishings, yeah, not much of a fan base, but still. Yeah, and it's interesting too, because this is like, it is a good bridge from, like, it's almost a good bridge. I don't know The Hobbit, but it feels like a good bridge to The Hobbit, a bit more child-centered. Man. That was a really great story. I don't know if I would have agreed with the Inklings there. They are focused a lot on like the actual structure of writing, and I probably would have agreed with them on that because I'm like a hater of epilogues and prologues. But again, being like enamored with the story. I just want more, and so I would need this. But it's kind of fun where it is because it kind of feels like a secret. Yeah, Procliffe, I'm kind of with you. I kind of like this as a separate piece. Like, this is only for people who, like, you know, are real deep into it that know about this. I like that Tolkien wanted to include this too. Like, this was really his beginning. Yeah, that's a good. It's an interesting argument whether this is canon or not. I would probably say that it is canon. Interesting. You think the book is better as a standalone discovery? I kind of think the ending of The Lord of the Rings is actually a great ending. It's like where it ends, story structure wise, makes sense. But again, because you just like want more, it just is just like it's hard. Yeah, it's not gonna be a secret with Colbert's scripts. It's true. What is the actual script for that? Does the script have anything to do with this? It has to do with Eleanor, right? And don't they like find some kind of secret where the Barrow-wight things are or something like that? Yeah, they want to add new drama. Like, what would the question she would ask about the Barrow-wights be? Is it about the Barrow-wights? I think I remember reading something about that. And I'm gonna maybe make a video about this. I have a slightly hot take. I think it's gonna upset fans all over the world about this. I am. I'm kind of for them making. I'm for Stephen Colbert giving this a shot. It might be terrible. It might be awful, but I think fans have to keep in mind what this thing is. It's a fan-made film. And I don't mind those because sometimes they strike gold and sometimes it's dumb and we can just forget about it. Like the ROP, can't even mention that show anymore. I remember seeing the first season. I'm not really liking it as a show. I don't think it's that great of a show. But I don't mind it because they're trying to expand the universe. They're trying to give fans more things. Makes the text a bit more accessible for people. Or not accessible, but like it gets people more interested in reading the actual text. Like, I am sure that there are some people after reading Rings of Power that are like, I really need to like read the Silmarillion, and they got more into the Silmarillion because of that. And that's a great thing. I think that really is huge for fandoms. And it's something I think about this all the time with like Harry Potter, but it's something that I want more with Harry Potter. I don't think the movies were a good adaptation. People say the movies were a good adaptation. They were terrible adaptations. I think they were worse adaptations than Lord of the Rings. But I'm glad that they made them. I'm glad that they tried, because now we're going to get this HBO series, and it's not going to be a perfect adaptation, but I think it's going to be another adaptation that I'm going to enjoy. And so I want like more. Like, this is the Star Wars problem. Every once in a while, they come out with a banger like Andor. And then you have to wade through a lot of the other crap that they have that I sometimes don't like, but at least they're trying stuff and throwing stuff at, the wall. But, well, he is writing an official adaptation, technically an official adaptation, but I don't care what the larger establishment labels as as an official adaptation. In my head, they're fan projects. Like, I am thinking of Peter Jackson's movie now. To me, Lord of the Rings is a fan-made film. Like, because the real canonical version or the real official version is the one that lives in my head. Like, the movie that goes on my head when I read this book is the official version, and nothing's going to come close to that. But I don't mind when people try to come close to that. I don't mind when people are making adaptations. So the movie is meant to begin with Eleanor stumbling upon a piece of history, and Sam tells a story about it. Then the shadow of the past starts. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, I'm all for like taking stabs at it. Like Stephen Colbert, I don't know if he's going to be able to produce a good movie. Let's be honest. I don't think he's ever done that. Maybe he has. Maybe I've just, not seen a movie that he's made. He's one of the deepest Lord of the Rings fans that I know in like pop culture. If there's anyone who can fund this, it'd probably be him. So I don't mind it. Yeah, Star Wars is a bit different too because it did start as a series of films, and then they adapted books off of that. But it's still, you have the books and they're adapting. Like the universe is just expanding, and I actually think that's great for fans. Like I want the universe to keep expanding. Like as a Harry Potter fan, I want that universe to expand, but it just hasn't, which has been frustrating. Like it's expanded in some ways with some things that the author has been publishing, but not in the ways that I want. Like Lord of the Rings is tough because J.R.R. Tolkien has passed away. But I don't mind fans taking small little things here or there and adapting them, coming up with stories on their own, or just adapting the Silmarillion stories. He gave us so much too that we can kind of adapt things and fill things in for ourselves. Yeah, it's true. It's a good point. And that's the thing, Dennis, I'm totally there with you. Like, and it's sad too because, or like, again, I think this is actually a good thing. And I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me on this one. I've said this before. I actually think I think it's good that I watched The Lord of the Rings before I read it. Because I love the movies still. I think they're incredible. Now I know the books. They're nothing compared to the books. They're like a pale comparison to the books. And they don't capture like that magic that they have in my head, but I still think that they're great. I still really love them and enjoy them. And maybe I should do that with the Odyssey. Maybe I'll watch the Odyssey before I read it, because maybe I want to like really enjoy it. Because sometimes if you read it first, you're just going to be going in for disappointment. And then we've talked about that before, but who knows? And that is a good point, Gil, too, is that sometimes they misrepresent what Tolkien actually wants. Like a business that names itself Palantir, and they're all about government, or they're all about surveillance. What are we doing? That's misrepresenting Tolkien. You just don't understand Tolkien. So it's a fair point to make when someone who is making an adaptation fails to understand what Tolkien is actually trying to talk about. But I also am to the point where I do agree with different interpretations of it, which is why I think reading it in groups like this or book clubs is fun, because we have different interpretations. You guys hated some of my interpretations for this text, but there was a level of respect that you guys had for it, which I guess is different from some of these other adaptations because maybe they just misunderstand it. Like if someone did like The Scouring of the Shire and it was about something other than like industrialism, I think that you would be missing the point of it. But I don't mind seeing how other people interpret Lord of the Rings. Like, again, Stephen Colbert, I'm actually interested in this film because I want to see what Lord of the Rings looks like in his mind. He's going to make it to the best of his ability in his mind, what he thinks. And I don't mind that. But again, if you are misrepresenting Tolkien in a severe way, like coming up with an interpretation that is clearly not there, and you can't back it up in any way, then that's wrong, I think. And I'm like not going to be happy about that. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a interesting conundrum. Percy Jackson films or Peter Jackson films, Percy, but a very earnest attempt to interpret the story. Yeah, totally agree. You sent the King's Letter from Tolkien. Did he actually have an image of that? No way. Hold on, let me check. Whoa, yo, that book is sick. First of all, that book is awesome. Everyone join our Discord too. Hold on, let me find a link. Copy, invite to server. If you want to join Discord, you can. Via that. Yeah, a chapter by chapter series on Lord of the Rings I think would be excellent. I think that is what series need to do more often. Because I think Lord of the Rings, again, it has this, like, I think these are the stories that, here we go, King's Letter, Tolkien Gateway. These are the stories that, even if there's like some part of them that still has this, oh, this is sick. Has this, child bedtime story kind of feel to it. Here, check this out. this beauty. Ah, that is. Look at he's got the king's crown on here. Man, that crown is huge. I would love to see this. I would love to see Aragorn wear that. That's sweet. Man, I love that you have a fancy version in a slipcase. Oh, I love that. Love that. Love that. There's a great quote comparing fans of Lord of the Rings to fans of Atlas. Oh yeah, I know that quote. It's like, one's about a bunch of orcs and the other, or one's about like, children losing innocence, yada yada, and the other one's about orcs or something like that. Or something funny. What is that quote? Copy paste that, because that's one of my favorites. It's like comparing Ayn Rand to Tolkien. But yeah, I do agree. Like sometimes series do this better, and like an animated series would do this even better because they could really come up with their imagination on things rather than be like, constrained by what we see. Because I don't want a CGI film. Let's be honest. I don't think anybody really wants that. But an animated one would probably be the best. An animated Lord of the Rings where they just have years and years to develop it would probably be the best. It does kind of look like the Pope's crown. Honestly, it's a fair point. Maybe that's like supposed to be Aragorn's role as healer and as Pope, as like a priest and a king. Maybe that was part of his mindset. Yeah, if I were to get a tattoo, I'd probably get it in some kind of Tengmor. I actually, and I haven't translated the cover page yet. Should we do that now? Do we have time to translate that now? I haven't translated that now. Someone send me, if you can. We'll do that now. Someone send me I haven't seen the 80s cartoons. No, not yet. Ooh, like the Pharaoh's crown. Honestly, very similar. Someone send me a Tengwar to English chart. I don't know what it would be called. Tengwar translator. Images. Throw it into the Discord if you can. If you're in the Discord. If not, no worries. Tengwar handbook. I tried to do it in the back of the book, but it was just too much flipping. I need a Tengwar, and I also need there's the Dwarven ruins on the top. Is it different? I think the Return of the King I think it's the same on all of them, right? The Return of the King. Is the Tengwar the same in the Return of the King as it is in others? Yeah, it looks the same. Hold on. Those elves are tricksy and there might be witty hidden messages. Interesting. So there's dwarf runes at the top. If anybody is on the Discord, send me some kind of comparison if you can. Tengwar alphabet. Maybe this is a good one. Tengwar alphabet for plain English. Maybe this is good. Here, come on a journey with me. Give me a sec. There's a lot of ads going on right now on this page. I don't like that. Will this be good enough? Not sponsored by Amex, so whatever. I want to do the okay for Tengwar. Thank you, Lime Mango. Appreciate it. Ooh, Tengwar handbook. Okay, excellent. Wait, this is confusing now. Consonants. I just need like a nice chart. Consonants. And I need a clear version of this because this is like gooped up kind of. Yeah, I gotta translate the runes too. Just focus on the English mode for now, okay. Let me look this up. Quenya mode, mode of Beleriand, Sindarin mode, the English mode, okay. The consonants. All right, let's do a little bit of translating. I'm gonna do this on my iPad because it's right in front of me. I gotta look up okay, let me look up. Do I have books? The Lord of the Rings. Let me look this up real quick. What? The Lord of the Rings. I don't want an audiobook. I just want the actual book. Come on. All right, I'm going to look this up on a browser. The Lord of the Rings. Scintillating. I'm making some scintillating content right now. Wow, I'm still surprised. I got 105 people still here. You guys are the best. Also, everyone like the stream. If you want me to just sit and Lord of the Rings full text. I'll just write full text. Internet Archive. Nope. That's the one. All right, here we go. Ooh, that is much clearer. I like that. Okay. I think I got to translate the Dwarven runes first. Everything is content. Ooh, yes, Attila, thank you. Ooh, generate Tenwar. Tenwar? Or am I saying it wrong? Tenwar? The Tengwar handbook. Okay. Yeah, we should call every stream an Entmoot. Okay, so we got that. I'm going to pull this up on my phone too. And then just go line by line. The first one, the top is Dwarven runes. I wanted to translate the Dwarven runes first. I need a pencil. I need a pencil and a piece of paper. Where's paper in here? I need a red book. I needed a big leather-bound red book. Tengwar is a script. Okay, interesting. All right, images. Let's look up images. Here we go. This is gonna be great. Okay, perfect. Here we go. First little bit. Let's check this out. All right, so the first character looks like a DH. If I'm getting some of this stuff wrong, alert me. DH, which is a TH, no? Let's do it in the back of this. DH. Second letter, a little weird thing. I got caught up on the second letter at the same time last time. Second letter is weird. It's not in this. Maybe I'm on the wrong one. Because the first letter, isn't it an E? But it doesn't look like an E. Like, yeah, the first one should be a DH. So weird. The dots between the character denote spaces. But it still doesn't make sense. Here, look at this. Look at where I'm looking. You guys are looking where I'm looking too, right? If you are, that second character doesn't look like an E at all. Like, here, let me pop this up. Let me zoom into it. Okay, so this is the second character. That's the second character, and this is the E. Those two things are not the same. I don't get that. I'm going to trust you guys. We're going to say it's an E. So E, the. Then there's like a weird cross thing. Means you're going to suffer, but you're going to be happy about it. There's like, it looks like an aleph. Or like a, no, like a, what's that Greek letter? Like a dalet or a gimel? Or a, I don't even know. O? Is that an O? I'm going to guess that's an O. Number 55 on the chart. I think I'm using a different chart than you. And there's one that's an arrow pointing straight up. This is going to take a while, guys. So sit back in your chairs, relax. Enjoy the ride. This is, I have the wrong alphabet. Maybe this is all capitals. Definitely have the wrong alphabet because there's no little arrow thing that's pointing up. All right, there's one on Reddit that seems like it's going to be better. I'm going to try to use this. What is that little arrow thing pointing up? Is that a O-O? Ooh? Oh, no, a T. There you go. Is that just, is it going to be the Lord of, no, the T, the O-T. Wait, no, that's just a T. So the T. I'm not that good at ciphers. The T. So we got T. That's the little arrow thing. The upward arrow is a T. Then we have the little downward F is an O? No, that's an A. A. The tail, I'm guessing the tails. The T-A-E. Then you have a backwards R. The backwards R is... Where's the backwards R? I need something more proper in front of me. All this isn't working. Maybe that one's going to work better. Backwards R is a V? This is too confusing. Okay, this one is actually going to be a little more helpful maybe. Okay, let's do this one. I was using one that Reddit gave me. The upward arrow is an R? Hold on. The upward arrow, I'm using the Angarthos of Moria. Wait, the upward arrow. Let me look at this upward arrow again. It's NR, like NR. NR. Okay, so the upward arrow is NR. The Trav. I don't even know where I am anymore. Backwards F. Is it DH again? Oh, it's partly phonetic. Okay, interesting. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna look at Appendix C. Although I was confused about Appendix C a while ago. Hold on 1 second. All right, hold on. Man. All right, I don't know if it's gonna work. So it's the THE. The hold on, I missed something. You guys are probably so bored. What's that little thing? An SH? Okay, so hold on, guys, help me out here. The third letter. I was using the appendix, but it wasn't clear still. Lord of the Rings. Tolkien Gateway. That doesn't help. Okay, here. That's not it. Okay, here we go. I gotta find Appendix E. That's the Tengwar. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this one's gonna help, but it's not the easiest. Because I'm gonna scroll back and forth. It is very clear, but it's still a little tricky. I'm not great at this stuff. Okay, so let me start again. Wow, it's gonna be terrible. The first character looks like 11 to me. Number 11 is a DH. Second character doesn't look like anything, but apparently that's an E. Second character, is the second character 46? Which is an E? That doesn't make any sense. How? How? Oh, second character is 55? Which is just an asterisk? What? How does that make sense? It's just an asterisk? Asterisk? Doesn't make sense. Third character is a little weird cross thing. The second is or a. Okay, it's soundless. Okay. The. Is the second character, it ends with that dot. So the dots and are the dots words. So the dots are blank space, right? What is that third character? That third character I can't find. Is that third character like the C? The Greek C? Psi? Oh, 31. That third character is 31. Which is L. L. Fourth character is 15. No. Third character. Fourth character. I can't find that fourth character. What is that fourth character? It's 50, isn't it? Oh. Is this going to be the Lord of the Rings? That upward arrow is 12. Which is R, the Lord of the Rings. It's definitely going to be the Lord of the Rings. And then the backwards F is going to be a D, isn't it? The Lord, where's the backwards F? Is 9, which is D. Yeah, okay. The Lord. And we have another O. And then a backwards R, which is 4, which is V. The Lord of. Okay, we're getting there. Sorry, that took me a long time, but we're getting there. The Lord of. There's another dot. Then we have another backwards F, which is DH. That's the Lord of the. That upward arrow is an R. We just have like a straight letter, which is an I, or a straight one, which is an I. I'm guessing that's an I. 39, which is an I or a Y. I'm going to do a Y. Rings. X. We have an X. An X is 36, which is an N. It's interesting that they have like it's Z to an N. Z. I guess those two things are somewhat similar. And then you have a backward or a C with a dot in it. Oh no, that's just the C. The dot is, so that's 35. 35 is S. Rins, the Lord of the Rins. Ooh, we have more. Oh, so that's only half of it. I'm guessing the Return of the King. Lord of the Rings. Okay, a half arrow up. So we just finished the Lord of the Rings. After the second one, there is a half arrow up, which is 8, which is T. TR. What is that one? The third letter in this one looks like a. Third letter in this one looks like 48, which is A. Travels. And we have like a psi-ish character. Which is, I don't know. I can't find this one. Where is this one? Maybe the closest thing to it is 27, but it doesn't look like a 27 really. Oh, there it is, 22. 22, but it's rounded. 22N, the tran. Yeah, everyone. I hope you guys are all doing something else while watching me, because this is not scintillating stuff. What's that backwards C again? A backwards C, or no, like forward C is 35, which is N. It's a Z. Trans. Oh, no, 35. That's S. Sorry. Translation. Is this word gonna be translation? Get that funky 31. Yeah, translated, I'm guessing. There's another A. And then a funky 4 kind of thing. I'm guessing that's number 1. Translate. No. I'm guessing that's 8 maybe? Yeah, it's got to be an A, 8. T and the backwards F. What was the backwards F again? 9. T, translated. Okay, translated. Number 3, translated from. Translated for or from? Yeah, from. Translated from DH from the R. This is getting exciting. From the R, E, from the Red Book. The Lord of the Rings translated from the Red Book. We got it. We got the first one. Now we got to do the second one, guys. This is so fun. What a fun, if you're a teacher, if you're in middle school or a high school teacher and you're reading Lord of the Rings, you need to do that because that would be so great. That was fun. Even though I was slow at it. Thanks for your patience, guys. That was probably painful. But we got through it. Okay, now we got to do the tenwar. But this one, that chart doesn't help me in the... Is there a better chart? It's going to have to be a lot of scrolling. That's what I don't like about the Tengwar one. I don't have to scroll back and forth all the time. I got everything wrong. Start from the beginning. Yeah, the Tengwar looks a little squished together. Tengwar chart doesn't show vowels. Interesting. Okay, that's gonna help me a lot. But I'm gonna have to go back and forth on this. So I have one in Appendix E. There's one chart, and then do I have to go scroll all the way to the bottom? Is that the same chart? That's what? No, because what is the Angerthos the values of the Tengwar chart too? Because like right now, this is all I have. Appendix E doesn't help with the Tengwar that much. Okay, so I need like an actual translator. Okay, let's look this up. I'm gonna try that. I don't know if that's gonna work. It's a little smushed together, and this one too. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. Okay, the first one. I have no idea what the first one is. Like, what's that straight line up for? The first letter looks like an M. Why are there two M's? The N and the M are going to be so hard to distinguish. First one looks like an M. Second letter looks like an R. Dang, Tengwar is hard. They're so smushed together. That's got to be a vowel, no? Oh, there's no vowels in this, right? Ooh, I haven't seen that writing video in the description. It's not using English mode. I need a better chart. Okay, wait. Someone send me a good I think, did someone send me a good one in the Discord? Let me look on the Discord on my phone. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We're eventually gonna get there. Here we go, Lime. Lime Mango sent me a good one. Let me look up the Tengwar letters for the English mode. All right, here we go. All right, this should help me a little bit. Except it doesn't look, it's like, I wish I could zoom out. It will help if I put my phone like this. No, it's not even working. What a mess. What a mess we are here. Okay, maybe I'll just keep scrolling through this. Okay, first letter looks like A. B. No, it's a V. Okay, so first letter I'm guessing is a V. V. But why is there one straight up and down? The first letter is weird, guys. It has an elongated stem. The first letter is OF. Okay. How? Oh, okay. I see that now. I just had to scroll down a little bit more. Okay. OF. Man, these charts. I need a better chart. The OF. Second letter is a weird A thing. Second letter looks like, I don't know what the second letter looks like. A W of, I think the second letter is a W. Third letter is an S. But what's that line doing there? That's got to be an S. Of was, third letter is like a, or fourth letter is like a P, a P-ish thing. Which looks like a P. WSP. How am I gonna know the, oh, the line is one of the vowels. Oh, line is one of the vowels. Hold on. But which vowel do I know? How am I gonna know it's a vowel? Oh, there we go. Wow. This chart is tough. So that is an E. Wise? WSE? Looks like a second. Okay, so the fourth looks like a P. Fifth looks like an M. They're so scrunched together, it's hard. E is read before the S. So, of Wes. Of Wes? Man, this chart is tough. Okay, so hold on. I don't know what that fifth letter is. These letters are so close to each other. It has to be an M. And then we have like an A with like a diaeresis on it, or an R. PMR. What's that vowel? An A. Pamar. I'm getting this wrong. This is frustrating. This Tangwar chart doesn't help me all that much. I'm right? Okay, I'm gonna keep going then. You guys are encouraging, thank you. Next one looks like CH. Next one's got to be a CH. CH. But there's like a weird space there. What the heck is this letter? B? So far it's a B. It's got to be a B. Space between the words. Oh yeah, lime. If you can, that'd be great. Oh, what a godsend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Done. Go back. Okay, let me save this. Save. All right, 1 mega. Thank you. I gotta pull this up. Let me rotate it. It was so smushed together, like that didn't help me all that much. But this, on the other hand. All right. Lock that. Oh yeah. Okay, so here we go. Help me out with spaces. Good. Okay, so of Westpum of Westpumarkchugba. What the heck is this, guys? The diaeresis was an A. The next letter is an R. And CH. So I'm on like, I think the third word. Which has got to be a B. This is wild. The West. But where was the T? I didn't get the T. Where the heck was the T in this? I'm on the T. It's that little P that doesn't look finished. Oh, and maybe I missed the P. Missed the T. Of West. Oh, I missed the T. Of West. Oh, I thought the P was the T. That's why. See, it's like smushed together, so I mistook the P and the T. T is a letter that looks like a P. But it looked like the other letter P in mine. Okay, so West March. Okay, so the West March. Then we have, okay, here we go. West March. Second is B. The West March, B. Is that a vowel? It's a little check mark vowel. Is that a Y? The West March by? I'm guessing that's a Y. The West March by. And then we have like a C by EA. It's a diphthong. The next one is a diphthong. We have a G looking thing. I guess that's an R? No, it's not an R. I can't figure out what that letter is. CH? That's gotta be a CH. That's a CH. By each. Each, that's an H. Each, two H's. Then we have a N by each. Each N. By J. That's a J. Wait, there's a J. Oh no, that makes sense. That makes total sense. I didn't even see that. No, your handwriting is good actually, but I just was separating those two things. So J. That's marked by J. H by John. By Johan. No way! Is this gonna say by Tolkien? No way! By John. Yeah, there's the R. Okay, now we're on to something here, guys. That is a E-N. By John Ren. Is that an N? Rayen. But what? So on the second after the John, what is this one? I'm confused on this one. By John R-E-N. Is that an N? R-E-N. I can't figure out what this other the R-E-N-L. Ren. Yeah, Hunkland, you just missed it. No, dude, go back and listen. It's great. Now we're trying to just do this translation. And this is taking me way too long. You guys are like, this guy is an idiot. We had it translated years ago. Rain. That's a D? What's his middle name again? John J.R. Reynold? Reynold? I was going looking for the ruled. R. And then we have T, Tolkien. I guess the whole word is just Tolkien. I'm just going to go ahead and say that's Tolkien. Unless his name means something different. The West March by John Roald Tolkien. It was crazy. What are they going to say about him? That's the real question. H. R. Her. What's the one dot? Harry. What is that letter? M? An N? Herein? Herein. Do we have a Z? Herein is. I like how they spelled a Z with an or an S with a Z. Herein is S. Herein is. Herein is sat. Herein is sat? Yeah, I'm just going to do the consonants, I think. All of the vowels are there, but it just dotted. Herein is sat. F. R. B. FRB. FRB, the set. Oh, set. That's the E. That's right. Herein is set. FRB. Should be TH for. Okay, so here in a set for the. That's H. History. Yeah, the history. Of W, history of war. The history of war of War of Ring. War of Ring. War of Ring. War of Ring. What is that other letter? War of Ring. War of the Ring. War of Ring the? Is it War of Ring the? Okay, of the War of the Ring. Okay, thank you. War of the Ring. R. R. T. Return of the King, I'm guessing. I think I'm gonna go to the King. Yeah, that's a K. Return of the King, and that's the NG. What's that? That's a cool letter. What is that letter though? A Z? That's a Z. Us is the Return of the King is. S. Ooh, both of those letters are hard to read for me. It's like scrunched into the corner. This doesn't help much either. Return of the King. I don't know how anybody can read it in this book. Sean Connery. What is it? So what is this? After the King, it looks like there's a S. What's the second letter in that? S. Is that a NG? Sing? Oh, as seen. Okay, thank you. That helps. Those are two. Okay, interesting. Okay, as seen. By. The. No. Yeah, the. As seen by or as sung by? I hope it's sung by the humans. Is it gonna be humans? HB B. By the hub. What is that letter? Dude, what is that letter? Huh. I don't know what that letter is. A Z? Tilde below is a double consonant. So HBB. By the happy? That's gonna be a B. Oh, hobbits! Wait, how's that? What the heck is that letter? That letter doesn't make any sense. Oh, that's a LL. That's two L's. No, two T's? That letter doesn't make any sense. By the hobbits, I'm guessing? By the quick ducks? Oh, imagine it was the quick ducks. HBB. I can't find that letter. Why can't I find that letter? What's this? What is the last? Is that the last letter? Why can't I find that last letter? It doesn't make any sense. It's TS. Where is that? Oh, isn't in the special section? TT. No. I still want to just find that letter. I can't. That's sad. Is that like TH kind of? Like maybe like that's like a TH? I don't have TTs. Last S is special. So this says of West March by John Reynold Ruled Tolkien. Herein is set for by the history. Herein is set for the history of the War of the Ring, Return of the King, as seen by the hobbits. As seen by the hobbits. As set forth, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, set forth. Set forth the history. Herein is set forth the history of the War of the Ring, Return of the King, as seen by the Hobbit. Hobbits. That's great. That took me long enough. Oh my gosh. Thanks for sticking it out with me, guys. That was brutal. That's so cute. I love that they had his name in there. That is adorable. I love that. All right, guys, we made it. You guys made it with me. Thanks for sticking it out with me. Yeah, thank you for that. Your written out text was, I tried to keep going back to the actual book, and it was so mumbled and jumbled together. I don't think I would have ever gotten it. So thank you so much for having that. Read the runes and the Tengwar. All right. The Lord of the Rings, translated from the Red Book. Oh, of Westmarch, by John Reynold Ruled Tolkien. Herein is set forth the history of the War of the Ring, the Return of the King, as seen by the hobbits. Ah, that's great. So it's all together. I was wondering why it was of Westmarch. Okay. Oh, what a great thing. I love that. The runes and the Tengwar. Silmarillion is a different title page. Excellent. So we should translate that before we do every single book. Does the Hobbit have one? Oh, the Hobbit doesn't have one. What a fun exercise that would be for high school students or middle school students to do when they read The Hobbit. Oh well. Alas. Earwax. All right, guys. That was a pleasure. How do I fix this? There we go. Wow. Didn't have it in my book. Maybe it has it somewhere. But we did it. We did it, guys. All right. Wes needs a walk. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. So I'm going to go take Wes for a walk. It was a pleasure to hang out with you guys. I got to get a lot of work done today. I'm way behind on stuff. So Wes is looking at me on the bed. It was a pleasure hanging out with you guys. I really like the epilogue. I'm going to write a few essays about it, talk about it, hang out, chat. So more essays coming out about that. And then we're starting The Hobbit pretty soon. If not next Sunday, maybe the Sunday after that. Probably not the Sunday after that. It'll be like the Monday after that or something like that. We'll figure it out. But I'll see you guys later and have a good day. Later.